We're going to talk about Savio to Tottenham, Rodrygo to Manchester City, Donnarumma to Manchester City, Rico Lewis to Nottingham Forest, and Man City versus Wolves. Predicted starting 11. We're also going to talk about my Premier League predictions, or my Mystic Magnus, and we're going to try and predict the future. So let's start off with Savio to Tottenham. Do I think it'll get done? What's my feelings? I think it'll get done. I think around £70 million. My feelings on it? Obviously, he's not a very ambitious character. If he was ambitious, then he would have a lot of self-confidence and he would be thinking, yeah, I'll scrap with Bob for that position. I'll scrap with Bob. Obviously, he hasn't got that in him, and he's willing to just go to a Tottenham that has a left side, a bit of a blank on the left side. Son's gone. Maybe he's thinking, yeah, that's easy to get in there. Preferred position. Maybe that's the one for me. So not ambitious. Players like that need to leave, to be honest. We've got a stacked team. We don't really need to be keeping every player. I mean, obviously, it's in our best interest to keep the Savios because they've got a lot of promise and their ceilings are high. But then again, if they're ambitious, nature isn't there, then they've got to go anyway. Rodrygo to Manchester City. Now, the way this happens is if Savio does go to Tottenham. Now, I don't know about everybody else, but swapping Savio for Rodrygo is a win in my eyes. If Rodrygo's willing to come, then, his ambitions are there. Obviously, dropped by Real Madrid. He's been playing in that team for a long time on the right-hand side where he wants to play on the left-hand side. I think the feelings would be the same at City. I think he would want the left-hand side, but he doesn't have a whole lot of options. Well, he does have a lot of options, but not a lot of options as far as like what he wants to do. I think City is the only thing he wants to do, to be honest. I think he wants to work with Guardiola. And, if he's willing to come in and play on the right-hand side, yeah, then maybe Savio for Rodrygo is a good deal. But yeah, I was at some point not Rodrygo to Manchester City. But if we sell Savio, then yeah, we'd have to replace him, and there's no better alternative to Savio than Rodrygo, really, is there? Let's talk about Donnarumma. Donnarumma to Manchester City. This one doesn't really excite me. This is just, oh, Ederson's gone, let's just put Donnarumma there. Do I think he'll be number one? I think it depends because Donnarumma, he doesn't have a whole lot of options because he wants to go to a side that wins stuff. And Manchester City is that. If he goes to United, it's going to be a few years, but I think before they get up there and they're fighting for titles. I think Ederson going out the door leaves room for Donnarumma. And Donnarumma, I just don't think that Donnarumma will basically have the bargaining power to say, oh yeah, but I will be number one. No. You need saving from PSG because PSG, you're not part of PSG's squad. You're not part of their plans. As far as we're concerned, you're coming in to be a keeper. Now, if Pep's going to give Trafford a chance, I think Trafford will start tonight, but we'll get on to the predicted 11 in a bit. I think Trafford will definitely get a chance, a fair chance. I think that's all that Pep can do. Give him a chance. If he doesn't inspire him, then you get Donnarumma in. Now I wanted to keep Ederson. I like Ederson. Ederson's a good player, but you can't keep a player against their will because it shows in their performance, their mentality. So I think last year he stayed an extra year, and I think this year he's just thought, no, you know what? I'm going to do my best. I'm going to try and get out of here if I can. Obviously, very good player. If they want to go, you got to let them go. Next up, Rico Lewis to Forest. What's my thoughts on that? I've said before, I don't think Rico Lewis has got it in him to be a Manchester City player, especially a right back. I'm more confident with Nunes there, and that's saying something. Nunes, I think, is very attacking and very good at that. But defensive-wise, I just don't think we have any options there for the right back position that is defensive. Obviously, we have the attacking style. Nunes being the attacking style, but Rico Lewis coming in. If Rico Lewis' only option to get into that team was right back, sell him. Just sell him. Get 30 million. £30 million I'd want, not 30 million euros though. I mean, we're no pushovers. But yeah, do I think it'll happen? I'm 50-50. Right. Manchester City versus Wolves starting 11 prediction. Now, what do I think is going to happen? I think Trafford in goal, Nunes on the right, Diaz centre back, Husanov centre back, Aitnori on the left, and then just in front, I think it'll be Bernardo and Reinders. Yeah, Bernardo and Reinders just in front of the defensive line. Reinders being the Rodri. Maybe they'll take it in turns. Maybe they'll flip in and out. I don't think Bernardo's going to be right wing Bernardo this season. I think we got too many good options down that side. So in front of them, I think we got Cherky, Bob, Marmouche, and Haaland. Good team, right? Good team. So yeah, let me just summarise again. Trafford, Nunes, Diaz, Husanov, Aitnori, Reinders, Bernardo, Cherky, Bob, Marmouche, and Haaland. I think that's a good team. On paper, it's a good team. Maybe, a couple players change there. But yeah, I think the spine of that team. For me, I think as long as Reinders plays, I think Reinders is going to be pivotal to us this year. But yeah, I think we'll have enough to beat Wolves. I think we'll do them 2-0. Touch wood. I think we'll beat them 2-0. I think we'll have too much for them. Won't put it past Aitnori to score one tonight. But yeah. Any of your thoughts in the comments? What do you think the score's going to be? Do you think we're going to win? Now, my Premier League predictions, I'm not going to make this a long, drawn-out process. I'm just going to give my a light rendition of what I think is going to happen this season. So starting off, what sort of placement do I think? Manchester City first. I think we'll win the league. Shoot me. I think it's going to happen. I think we'll win the league. And that's purely off the basis that I think Van Dijk looks very, very shaky. I think Van Dijk looks very shaky. And his legs are going to fall off at some point. And I think it's going to be this season. Said in an earlier video that was going to happen. I think it genuinely will happen this season. Now, I'm not one to prey on other players' downfall so that, my team can win. But I'm saying it comes into the equation. I think Van Dijk this season, his legs will go and it'll come into the equation. And I think at that point, City will pounce. City are good at pouncing when it's the right time to pounce. And I think our squad depth now is unreal. So if we do get the Rodrygo and we do get the Donnarumma, I think our squad depth is unreal. Yeah, so first City. Second, wait for it, Chelsea. I think Chelsea second. Then Liverpool. Then, all right, Arsenal, yes. That was a bit of an iffy one between Liverpool and Arsenal in my head. Arsenal fourth. Then United. I think United have a clear plan. It's whether Bruno Fernandes, whether they try and shoehorn him into that 8 position. If they try and shoehorn him into that 8 position, I don't think it works. If they do that, I think they'll drop a bit lower. But then 6, I've got Spurs. Now I know they lost against PSG the other night, but there wasn't a whole lot riding on that. Obviously, you do have to take it into account how they're playing. But it was their first game, their first proper game, and yeah, in parts they look good. And Kudus looks good, so yeah, in parts they are looking good. Thomas Frank is a really good manager. Let's just see what they can do. Yeah. As far as Chelsea, I just think there's not enough experience in that squad. I think they're a young squad. I just think the experience, they'll just drop off December time. And like I said about Liverpool with the legs. Arsenal, I think they're relying on this striker being what is going to change them. I don't think that's the problem. I think the problem is their left back. Miles Lewis-Skelly being a midfielder, not having that natural defensive prowess, and Arteta buying 300 fullbacks and then playing an academy midfielder there. Just stupid. Gyökeres, I think he'll do okay. I don't think he's gonna, I don't think he's gonna reinvent the striker position, but I think he'll do okay. Like the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.